Hi, we'll just have a look now at the rhythm and lead parts in Get Back. The introduction is basically a build up on an A chord on the second fret, and it's a backbeat feel. And the other thing to note, to give attention to, is that it starts off with a very muted feel, and it gradually builds up as the strings are allowed to ring out. Okay, so it goes for 4 bars, and you want to achieve that backbeat feel, and you want to achieve the build-up feel. And it culminates with that crashing G chord and D chord. And if I could suggest, you really want to aim to play the high strings of those chords rather than the bass strings. So sometimes I just play the high part of the G chord. Okay. Now that's the introduction. I just deal with their respective roles. George Harrison actually plays the rhythm on this song, which is unusual, and John Lennon plays the lead. We just deal with George first. He basically pumps away on an A and a D chord down here as open chords all the way through. It's like... Okay. So that's his role. We don't really need to talk about him anymore, unfortunately. Now, John Lennon plays the lead part. As we've seen, he tends to play the A and the D chord up on the 5th fret. So the A chord's happening like that, and then the D chord like that. Back to the A chord, and then G, D. It's a personal preference, but I've tended to always play it down here as an open shape. Sounds the same. So that's hammering on and off on the F sharp note, which is the 4th fret of the D string. You can play it in either position. As I said, I'm comfortable with it down there. Just one thing to bear in mind though, doubtless one of the reasons he plays it up here, and most people do, is that it's a shorter journey up to here where we will see the lead solo being played, which is the 10th, 11th and 12th frets. You're really, because he's playing all of this, he really needs to hightail it quickly up to these solos, and it's a lot easier to get to the solos from here than it is from here. But you can do it, and as I said, I prefer the sound down here on the 2nd fret. So that's basically the verses, just go through like that. Now, at the end of each line in the verse, John plays a little lead lick, which is something like this. Can't remember now, I'm not sure if that last note happens, but something like that, whatever fits in. It's a slide into the 11th fret of the G string, play the 10th fret of the B string, and then take the 12th fret of the B string and bend it up a full step. While that's held up there, pluck the high E string 12th fret, then bring the bend down, back down, back to the 10th fret of the B string, 11th fret of the G string. And I can't remember now. I think he might go back to the 10th fret of the B string as well. I'd have to play it through to remind myself. But anyway, it's something like this. Okay. That happens after the second line of the verse as well, and then we're into the chorus. Now, the chorus is the same as the verse. It's A and D and A and G, D. Okay. John Lennon plays a lead line, sort of lead and chords mixed up. And the first figure he plays goes like this. Okay. So that's a slide into the bass E string, 9th fret. Then we play 7th fret of A string, 9th fret of A string, and then 10th fret of A string. And then we play this little chord shape here, which is like, looks like a D7, but it's played up here on the 8th and 9th frets, and it's actually an A7. So all of this is played over the A chord, the rest of the band playing the A chord. Okay, just to be clear, that's high E string 9th fret, B string 8th fret, G string 9th fret. Okay, now it's important to mute the bass strings when you play this. If you get that D string ringing out, sounds ugly. You want to get a clean hit on those high 3 strings, the E, B and G. Okay, so it's, you don't want, okay. So he plays that twice, just do it through. Then he alternates. When the band goes up to the D chord, John goes, and that's a D7 chord. So it's, the line is bass E string 9th fret, A string 7th fret, A string 9th fret, D string 7th fret, and then this D7 here, which is D string 7th fret, G string 7th fret, B string 7th fret, high E on the 8th fret. Okay, so that thing slowly is, okay. Then he plays the original line through, and that. Now sometimes he adds that on and sometimes he doesn't. I suggest whatever's comfortable for you. It's not essential to add that last bit on. So the whole of John Lennon's chorus looks like this. Okay, now that just about does it for this episode. We'll come back and look at the lead solos in the next episode and a few other subtleties as well. Thanks for listening.